What if we could race anyway? That was the question posed back in 2020 when starting lines vanished and marathon dreams were put on hold. The answer, the Marathon Project, a race designed to give pros an opportunity to do what they do best, race fast and chase limits. 5 years later, that mission lives on, and the Marathon Project is back. And we're here to take you inside every mile of it with the Inside the Marathon Project podcast. I'm your host, Steve Sievert, and over the next 16 weeks, if it's happening with TMP, you're going to hear about it right here on Inside the Marathon Project podcast, which is made possible by our partners at FloTrack, the official podcast and broadcast partner of the Marathon Project, which is happening the weekend of December 20th and 21st in Chandler, Arizona. With Inside the Marathon Project, we are going to take you inside the stories of the athletes, organizers, and dreamers who are making this unique 26.2-mile race happen. Breakthrough ideas often come from asking the simplest of questions, and that's the origin of the Marathon Project. Ben Rosario, then head coach of Hoka Northern Arizona Elite, was guiding his team through very uncertain times. We were all figuring out how to navigate through a global pandemic when he asked the question, well, what if we could stage a marathon and give pros an opportunity to race? The answer was the Marathon Project, a small invitation-only marathon for pros with a mission. Get those pros an opportunity to go fast and do it safely. And it worked. December 20, 2020 featured breakthrough performances, personal bests, and some unforgettable moments. So Ben, the Marathon Project has its own unique place now in American marathon history, and it's back 5 years later for version 2.0. So tell us a little bit about your vision for this podcast in particular, because there are hundreds of marathons across the country and few, if any, that I'm aware of have their own podcast. So what's your vision and what are you trying to achieve with Inside TMP?
Steve, we want to tell stories. We don't have a lot of time to tell stories in the world of marathoning. A marathon takes place in one very short span on one day. A basketball season, a baseball season, football season takes months. And so there's so much time for the stories of the athletes to be told. And we don't have that in a marathon. We often get a press release the week of. We know who's going to race. There's a press conference a day or two before the race. A few articles come out and off they go. That day is very exciting. There's a lot of coverage of the race, and then it's over. So we want to make sure that our season, if you will, lasts from September all the way through December 21st when the professionals race at the Marathon Project. The day before, of course, the gold waivers will be racing as well. And we want to, in this podcast, tell the stories of the people that raced last time in 2020, learn about the course, learn about why it's so fast, learn about why that was such a special day. And then as we move forward and closer to the race, we want to hear from the people that are going to be running in December and how their training is going and what their hopes and dreams for the race are, and about all sorts of things, right, that make them who they are as an athlete, so that we as fans, and you and I are fans, can feel more vested in their journey. And that's what we're going to try to do with this podcast. I love the long form podcast medium. It's a way to get to know people that we can't really accomplish in quick social media posts.
Well, I can't wait to be a part of it and appreciate the opportunity to co-host Inside the Marathon Project podcast with you. And for episode number 1, we've got your plate full. We're going to bring you back in. We're going to take a look back at version 1.0 of the Marathon Project, relive some of the memories, look back at what went into staging a race in such a unique time in all of our lives. And then we are going to take a deep dive into plans for the race this December. We're going to talk a little bit about the pro field. We'll talk about how you're elevating the runner experience, not just for the pros, because this is one of the different aspects about this year's race from 2020. Elite age groupers are going to have an opportunity to go as fast as possible as well. And we are going to dig into all of it in episode number 1, which will get us started on a 16-week journey leading to Inside the Marathon Project in December. Hope you can join us along the way for the journey and hear some of the amazing stories that Ben mentioned a minute ago. It is one race, one project, one pursuit. It is the Inside the Marathon Project podcast. See you soon.